is the king doing? It's your kid. Think of everything that he went through with Diana. He grew up in this world, in this spotlight. Sure, he might have views that you don't share about what protection he, needs, and he may have managed his private life in a way you don't agree with. But you brought up him in a world where he doesn't have any normal sense of what a private or public life is. Of course, he may not make decisions that are kind of what we all think are good decisions. The poor kid lost his mum. Like, you're his dad. Get over yourself and speak to your son. It is your son. What are you doing? Like, it makes me, like, everyone looks at this, Belle, this is how I feel about it. Everybody looks at this man like his decisions are all crafted and preconceived and contrived. He was just a kid that lost his mum, that grew up in a very, very public nature. They didn't ask for that. He was born into it, and everyone says, oh, well, he's lucky. He got all the good things that come with it. Cool. Two things can be true at once. He got all those good things, but also it gave him a warped view of the world and his place in it and his safety and all of that. His mum died in a tunnel with paparazzi chasing him. What part of this? Like, none of it makes sense. It makes me so cross.
I will preface this by saying I hate the monarchy in general, so I have no horse in the race in terms of that. But I also think the layered thing to it is if his mum had the security detail that he's asking for and asking to pay for,
that she may still be here.
Yeah.
Why do you not have the same sympathy for him, Belle?
I find it hard to sympathise and feel sorry for him when literally in the same breath of him saying, I want to reconcile with my dad, he's then in an interview outing his dad and saying he won't speak to me. Like, I just find the behaviour quite immature, and he literally wrote the book Spare and just, like, slammed his whole family and the monarchy and really
so you can only speak publicly positively about your family.
I think if you genuinely want reconciliation, stop bringing your family down and outing
But what if the world thinks that the problem with the reconciliation is that his fault? Meghan and him don't want to speak to the family. Meghan and him are living over there because they hate the family. Sometimes he's maybe needing to stand up for himself to let the world know, I'm not the reason we can't reconcile. I've tried, so I know you all think that we've run away and don't care about you. We do, but they're not responding.
Maybe.
I just think we can't understand what it's like to have families turn on us and then expect we're meant to just go on saying, but it's good, it's all cool. Like, imagine your family just turned on you.
I know, but he wrote a book about them.
But also, I guess, why does he want
Not before they turned on him. Do you know what I mean?
Why does he want to reconcile with old Chipolata?
That's a good question too.
Because it's still his dad. You can't get away from the fact that it's still his father. Like, of course you want...
Yeah, I imagine you'd be desperate for some connection to your family because of losing your mum when you're so young, and it's so tricky. And so he's like, oh, look, Dad's a nightmare, but it's something.
Of course. And, like, it's even like his brother, the relationship with his brother. Like, it's not perfect. I totally hear what you're saying, but I just think it's just so sad when he was just a kid that lost his mum and now is just trying his best. It just makes me sad.
Maybe they should sort it out behind closed doors, though.
Wow, okay, so you guys heard that. I'm going to ignore the nonsense that lady called Belle was saying, because that's just deranged stupidity right there. No offense, Belle, I don't know you, but I don't get emotional maturity from you. All I get is hater, because this woman, again, let me just disclaim, I have no idea what a Carrie and Tommy is. They could be a right-wing racist channel for all I know, but it's so rare in any type of discourse to hear people use emotional and mental intelligence when they talk about this Harry and Charles situation. That honestly, I'm floored. Shout out to the lady, I believe she's the Carrie. Shout out to the lady for using, like I said, emotional and mental intelligence and maturity when having this conversation. I've said so much about this, but I think she said it perfectly. Whatever your feelings are about Harry and Meghan, you might think that they all deserve to burn in hell, of which F you, by the way. You might think that they are horrible people. You might think for some reason Harry writing a book telling his own side of the story for the record to protect his reputation with his children and in history is a bad thing. But ultimately, as Harry said, and she rightly, Carrie, I believe, said, this is a family affair. It has nothing to do with me and you. The only reason why it is playing out in the public is because I didn't think of it that way, but I kind of can maybe look at it from her point of view. If you've grown up in the public eye, if everything that has been done to you has played out in the public eye, it's a bit ridiculous at this late stage to be saying certain conversations should not happen in the public eye. And one thing that she also missed that I want to add here is the reason why this is playing out in the public, guys, is because of the leaking of the narratives. The royal family, because you know that the royal family is the one shaping this. The narratives that have been put out in the media by the royal family through their mouthpiece, the British press. If you listen to it alone, if Harry doesn't get a chance to speak his own mind, to say his own, to give these documentaries, to give these talk shows, it is the way most people are going to see this story is the way this Bell lady is seeing it. Oh, Meghan was welcomed into the royal family. She wasn't. Meghan was given all the opportunities. She wasn't. Meghan was given the protection. She wasn't. To settle into the royal family, she was treated with respect. She wasn't. Harry is an ungrateful person. He's leaving because of Meghan, even though Harry has said it on multiple occasions that it was his decision to remove his family from what was becoming an increasingly dangerous environment. Why? Because of the British press. Because the British press and Kensington Palace were leaking things. The British press was radicalizing people against Meghan. Till this moment, even if you hate Meghan, I need you to think in your heart. Be honest with yourself. What exactly did Meghan do? What did she do? What's her crime? That is equal to the relentless, endless attacks by the media. You see it now. I mean, even if you hate Meghan and want her to die, do you think it's reasonable that everything one person does is scrutinized to the nth degree? Meghan laughs. How dare she laugh? How dare she laugh on a Wednesday when the sun is shining? Doesn't she know that it is coinciding with a distant cousin of a best friend of the king that nobody knows about and nobody cares about, but they brought it up because they want to look for a reason to bash Meghan? I've literally posted examples of so-called royal commentators. Maureen Callahan went on a podcast saying Meghan's kids hate her, saying things like Meghan is a psychopath, saying that Lily's voice is a voice actor. Guys, and nobody is the vitriol and the hatred, and saying that Meghan fancies herself to be Diana and she's something about her having an untimely death. Nobody wrote any articles pushing back on that. Nobody said anything like, Maureen, that is insane. You can't say that. She wouldn't dare say that about Kate. She wouldn't dare say that about William or his kids. But you're okay saying that about the king's son, his wife, and his kids? And none of you see this as weird? And again, if you are somebody that hates Meghan and or Harry, I need you to look and be honest with yourself. Let me use the talking point that silly woman Belle was saying. Well, I found it very immature that he aired out his dad. Why shouldn't he? I just gave you examples of the British press radicalizing people to hate Harry. You saw all the articles they released. And the funny thing is, despite Harry writing a book, giving interviews, saying the leaving the UK was my idea, they call it Megxit. Despite Harry saying that his father doesn't want to see him unless he sends for him, you blame Harry. What do you want him to do? Now tell me, what do you want him to do? He said, okay, fine, I will pay. You won't give me security. I will pay for it. I'm happy to pay for it. Just give me security, proper security, so that I can bring my kids to the UK. No. I don't know what more you want this guy to do. Now he's gone to the press. Just look, and I don't blame him. What do you want him to do? So it can be on the record that, look, reconciliation, not my fault. Despite everything you've done to me, the way you've radicalized the press to hurt me and my wife and my kids, I still want to reconcile with you, Dad. You are not allowing me to. I don't know what more Belle wants Harry to do. Keep quiet while the press forms a narrative around him and his wife? Would you tolerate that, Belle, if it was you? And to the guy saying, well, everything should be done in private, I agree. So with that argument, I didn't hear any of you saying the press should back off and leave these people alone. Stop writing articles about Meghan every day. Stop writing articles about Harry every day. Meghan released a picture of her child saying happy birthday. I'm going to post a reaction to the very stupid commentary that Hugo Psycho Vickers gave off the back of that. Look at the comments. Daily Mail went, thanks to Twitter, I saw Daily Mail went to repost a picture of Archie on that same thing. Not because of the goodness of their heart, because they are setting him up to start abusing him. It's the same thing they are doing to Louis. Oh, Louis is the joker of the family. Louis is 7. Archie is 6. They're already building narratives. Why are you using children? And Charles, let's bring this back to Charles. You are a father, grandfather. You are allowing this to happen? You're okay with your grandchildren being used in this way? And this is evidence number 1 million that King Charles is the most useless, heartless, cruel father I have ever seen. I'm serious. You know one thing? I'm going to say this, yeah? We all know he's racist. But if the one thing that can be said for Charles in his entire legacy is he was a good father, I will give it to him. I mean, he's still a racist scumbag. I still want him out of Africa, and I don't want him and I'm ready for the Commonwealth to be over. But we will give props where props are due. But he can't even give himself that, because Charles does not care about his children. And believe you me, it's not just Harry. He doesn't care about William either. Because if he was a good father to William, he would push for reconciliation, because he must know that his son is suffering. Look at William. Every time I see William, I'm like, what the hell is going on with you? That beard, I don't know whose idea. I think that beard was intentional, because he keeps losing weight. What is going on with William? William is clearly going through something. I always say this, if children don't get along, it is down to the parents. I'm serious. I blame the parents. What did you do? Why did you not do what was necessary to foster love between two blood siblings? And his failure to do that is why Charles continues to be a terrible father. Sorry, I'm very passionate about this, because honestly, it's hard not to be. Please let me know your thoughts in the chat. Shout out to Carrie and Tommy. Again, I don't know who these people are. They could be right-wing, they could be crazy, I don't care. But on this one topic, I give them their kudos. And that Belle girl is an idiot. Please like, subscribe, share. Thank you.